Do you want to go ahead or do you want me?
You can go ahead. I have it on your end.
Okay, so Vechain. Vechain is crashing, burning, fires. Horses are startled. And so for me, man, again, we're losing critical support level after critical support level. Vechain is bearish. We're losing the 200 EMA. We're losing the 200 SMA. So for me, it's extremely clear. The trend is nothing but down. So for us to start feeling bullish again, we need to break that price structure. We need to do something like this. So I can draw a trend line from kind of this peak here to this peak here. And so for Vechain to start being bullish again, we need to break above this level, come back down and retest that whole line of support. We need to start getting above these EMAs. This 200 daily SMA and EMA here at kind of 9 cents 7 and 8 cents 6. Those are the two levels we need to get above in the short term, and this trend line for us to start being bullish. Lots of resistance here at around just under 10 cents to just about just below 9 cents. This whole range here between these two EMAs and this trend line, super strong resistance. So if Vechain can start holding 10 cents again, that's a very good sign. But ultimately, for me, main takeaway is always the same, which is at the end of the day, this white line is my inflection point. This is the 200 EMA on the 6 hour, extremely price reactive, constantly the base of support for Vechain, historically speaking. As soon as we drop below it, that was the beginning of the massive sell-off. So for me, this is kind of the first layer of short-term resistance that we need to get above. And kind of the second layer of bullish confirmation would be getting daily candles closing above this thing. And for me to start buying back into Vechain, start feeling bullish on Vechain, I want to see one or two daily candles fully close above this white line here. And once we do that, I'm confident that Vechain can go on 50 cents, 80 cents, a dollar and beyond.
100%, man. I think again, we agree. I agree. Specifically with the price action, specifically with the 200 EMA, especially how every time we actually drop close to it, we do find that support at it. And again, since December, I guess end of last year is when we find that support at it before we actually pumped. Again, here, it is where that I guess investors in Vechain, not traders overall, been looking at it to enter, and if that does not hold as a support, which it didn't, then obviously yes, a huge inflection point where supply and demand usually, where a lot of supply is actually not supply, sorry, a lot of demand for Vechain around that level, around the level where this EMA, the 200 EMA, is sitting. So the fact that we didn't really see that happen here is pretty concerning. But then again, we understand what's happening in the whole crypto space. I'm not sure how much market cap do we have. We actually have today, and overall in crypto yesterday was at 1.3 trillion or 1.4 trillion. Yeah, so we need to see that happen. We know there's a lot of excitement about Vechain, and we also know probably majority of our audience loves Vechain too much. So right now, this is where Vechain is at. Again, we've been downtrending. We're down in terms of a drop here, or I guess depending whatever you want to call it, a sale. We went all the way down to the 6 cent region. 78% drop in terms of Vechain after it actually reached into the 27 cent. So we're just gonna sit and see how that plays out. Again, man, if you ever wanted to buy back into Vechain, I guess not financial advice, but this is definitely a level that you need to keep in mind. And you don't want this EMA to be above you, or sorry, yeah, above you when you're buying into the market. I definitely don't want this if I'm bullish on Vechain. So we need to wait, see how Bitcoin's doing. You've been watching the live stream since the beginning. You saw the analysis we had about Bitcoin. Vechain is pending Bitcoin's price action. When Bitcoin starts to move Vechain, in my opinion, will definitely follow. But then again, even that, this EMA level will be a bit scary for a lot of buyers, and we definitely need to break above it. And that's currently sitting at the 9.6 cent. Or again, more psychological number is the 10 cent region where a lot of that selling actually happens. So we need to see that play out. You'll see the volume here, June 22nd, heavy volume. Again, you see it all over the charts. We just like four charts here. You see this on June 22nd. A lot of the crypto charts had this candle over here showing you a lot of volume, a lot of selling volume, but pretty much indecisive wicks to the upside, wick to the downside. Buyers push the price action against the sellers back up, and sellers push the price action back down after buyers tried to come in. very narrow body candle, a lot of indecisiveness in the market. So we need to see how that actually goes, and we need to, at least for the short term here, maybe on the 4 hour, you'll see a bit more clearly. It's right here. This, in my opinion, is where Vechain is currently sitting at, and we definitely 100% we need to break above those levels. From this level, from what we're sitting at right now, that's 8 cents, all the way above to the 10 cent, until we start being a bit more bullish on Vechain's price action.
Yeah. No, I most agree, man. And just to answer one of your questions there, so the current total crypto market cap is 1.37 trillion. So we have been losing a lot of trillions, but that is the current market cap. And if we're excluding Bitcoin, so basically the altcoin market cap is 726 billion. Very interesting. Dude, this is such a tiny, tiny market. Such a tiny market. There's individual stocks worth this much. I mean, Apple or what is Facebook is worth this much. Yeah, we're in such an immature market, such early days, folks. And so, look, man, I think the main takeaway here is simple. Folks, looking at Ethereum, looking